Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Wine and Whispers. We've got a good episode today. We're going to talk a little bit about the reason for the season.
What do you think that could be?
If you don't get it, you're going to get it. Trust me.
Yep.
So let's uncork and
unwine.
Denise, why don't you kick us off? Because I feel like you've got that starting point for us.
Okay, so I think we've heard this time and time again. Even I have, and sometimes you don't want to believe it. People come and go in your life for a season. Things happen in your life for a reason.
Absolutely.
So there's always a reason in a season. Hence why
the reason
we properly
for
titled
the season.
But more recently, it's funny how the algorithms work, right?
Okay.
So you go through the algorithms, and I think we know they're always listening.
They are.
And by they, I mean the phones.
They are.
And they kind of like channel your feed to things. And so something that I came across, and it's not like I haven't heard it before. Like if you know Tyler Perry from the time when he was doing his Chitlin Circuit plays, before he became big Tyler Perry,
yes,
there was always a message. And one of them I'll never forget, when watching it, was talking about like, everyone comes in your life for a season and for a reason, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's for a day or for multiple days. And so I came across this chat that Mel Robbins, will link everything below. She's a podcaster. She's an author. She currently has a book out called The Let Them Theory. Let Them Theory? Yes. And it talks about the friendships and relationships that you have, right? And how they differ from when we're a kid versus from when we're in our
adulthoods.
Not even like our young adulthood to adulthood to older age, right?
Okay.
And those relationships could be friendship, they could be family ships. And so we're going to talk about the three pillars and her let them theory. I don't know the full details. I do want to dive into the podcast. Like I know she just released the book, so I want to
read the book.
Audible it, because when you think back and you think about it, whether you're experiencing with family members, you love them dearly, but you need to love them separately and far and away. Or they come in just at the right time and leave just at the right time, whatever those types of relationships are. So she talks about the three pillars, and the three pillars are proximity, which is when
it's
true. Proximity, and she talks about it, and she goes into depth in her book, obviously, talking about how when you're kids at a certain age, you do everything together. You are staged together. Your milestones are together.
You're the best friend.
So everything's done together. It makes sense. You're friends. And then there's that stage where you go into discovering yourself. And things start to be the same, but then you start to scatter off because everyone has different interests.
Of course, absolutely.
Then when you are in a working stage, you have friends at work, but at the end of the day, you're friends, but they're not your best friends because you're at different stages of your life.
Acquaintances. That's what. Listen, I love those memes where it's like you go talk to your best friend and you're 20 something and you're like, "Hey, Brenda," and Brenda's 40.
Because you get along with her, but
God.
Brenda is going home to a family and kids and whatever. You over there going partying
you
afterwards.
You got a drink, okay? Absolutely.
Right.
Brenda may join you every once in a while, but
which comes into timing, which is her third pillar. Timing is different. You're at different times, different points in your life. There's relatability,
right?
But it's not
the same. It's not the same fully.
And this is where I actually want to dive into this part when we get into it. Timing, like I have friends that they will always be my friends, where no matter where we pick up in life, it's like we never stop.
Oh yeah, got that.
We're doing our different things in life, but when we touch base, it's like we never get left off.
There was no gap of conversation, not seeing each other. There was nothing. It was like, I saw you yesterday and I'm seeing you today.
Right, exactly. And then the last thing they mention is energy. The energy doesn't shift in terms of
when, where, how.
Exactly.
I got you. The energy is always going to be the same.
Yes.
It don't matter who you are, where you are, when you're going to be. Like, I'm going to match your energy.
Yeah. And so she's saying the different stages of life. So when you were a child, all three of them together, they're happening synchronicity. No, wait. Let me stop. Let me say it right. They're happening in tandem. Ooh. I was going to say synchronized, but in tandem, right?
That works too.
And then as you mature, they're not happening in tandem, but they're still happening.
Right. They're working off of each other more than at the same time with each other.
Okay. Yes. And then you also have the aspect of a reason for a season where it's okay to let things fail because that means you've outgrown it.
And that's okay. Absolutely. Sometimes it's like that where thinking about like childhood friends, right? I had those childhood friends who I love dearly. I would have ride or died with them forever. And then when I got married, I had to look at who's going to be at my party, right? And I was like, I like them, but they not my ride or dies no more.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are, right? Some of them were in my party where like there was one up there who I've known since I was 11.
Mm-hmm.
He's my ride or die.
Right,
no matter where we are. If I ever call him, I'm like, hey, I need help.
Yeah.
It'll be a quick where and when do I need to punch somebody?
Right.
It'll be a quick one of those, right? Where like there's other friends where I'm looking at them, I'm just like, oh, I love you from here now. But I don't need to see you like that.
Reason and a season. Because there are going to be people where you know what to call them for and how they're going to show up versus other people you know how they're going to show up for you.
Yeah.
And not to say that you love them any different. No, less. Like, not to say that you love them any less, but you love them differently.
Absolutely. Denise, I just want you to know, I'm the person you can call if you want to drink, the person you want to call if you want to read a book, if you want to try a new adventure, need to hide a body. Listen, I'm that person you can call. Okay.
And I'm the person you can call to vent. If you want me to give advice, I can give you my opinion. I'm also the person where if I'm available to pick up something that you need or you need to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I remember Ray.
Mm-hmm.
She was sick and she was like, no, I don't need anything.
Yes, she does.
She did. And guess what? I may not have been available to physically drop the soup off for her, but I door dashed it to her.
We got DoorDash.
I door dashed it to her and I was like, go open your door. Go open your door. And you know what? She needed it because she was too weak at the time. And I think this was when she had COVID.
Oh yeah.
So this was
down for the count.
So yeah.
Oh yeah. And you had to give her one of those. Just go.
Yeah. So let's talk about it, right? Let's dive into understanding heartbreak is part of the process. You can have heartbreak outside of
absolutely
a romantic relationship, right?
It's a relationship. Yep. No matter which way you like cut this cookie, it's a relationship. And a friendship, a romantic relationship, even family friendships, right? Or family ships.
Mm-hmm.
They take a part of your heart. They take a part of your soul. They're a part of you in a way that you didn't know they were there until they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna hurt when they leave, no matter which way, because that could be the person, it could be an auntie who you went to the zoo with, right? And you have those memories and like, yes, and they're the ones who you always went to talk to. Maybe she passed away, or maybe she just started acting funny. And so you gotta
or you found the truth about them.
Or you found the truth. Girl, I didn't even think about that.
Right? Because sometimes we set up expectations. I had to learn this the very, very hard way. Sometimes we set expectations on people that they don't know we set on them. So we become in our brain. So we become so disappointed in the fact that they're not measuring up to the expectations we set forth for them.
And they didn't even know about it. I've done that. And so then when they don't set forth in that expectation, it's like
disappointing.
Right.
But who are you really disappointing?
Yourself. Because you put that expectation up and they didn't even know it existed.
Yeah.
Ooh, that part. So it's also, I feel like this one is also just being honest with yourself in that situation too, right? Because you need to be honest about why these people are in your life.
Right.
Why these people may be leaving your life, or why it is that you no longer feel the need for them to be in your life because you've outgrown them.
Right. I think there's always a lesson in the relationship. And I don't mean it in a selfish way that you're learning a lesson, because they're also learning a lesson too. Whether that lesson is something that takes a day, few weeks, few months, years.
Ooh, and plural on it.
Right. Because I've also, my aunt, I don't have a relationship with her in the same capacity that most people have with their aunts, right? Mm-hmm. But I will never forget, sometimes she had a conversation with me one time and she goes, I have a lesson I need to learn. I don't know what that is, But until that lesson is learned, I'm going to be stuck in the same place.
Wow. The truth
Let that sit
that.
for a second. How many times have you felt like I jumped this hurdle already? Why am I back in the same space? The characters in the situation may have changed. The setting in the situations may have changed, but it's still the same setting in terms of what is the lesson I need to get out of this?
Because he's just trying to let you know, and you're not picking it up. Ooh, I'm gonna pick it up. I promise. I don't know.
Sometimes it's hard.
I'm lying. I may not pick it up. It's a thing because it's, again, going back to being honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not willing to be honest in that moment, in that setting, you're never going to move past that roadblock. You're never going to get over that hump. You're going to be repeating that same scenario over and over and over until you get it. Again, like you said, same people, nope, different people, different setting, but the message is still the same.
Yeah. I felt like I've experienced that twice. And each time I know what it is.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's left pocket, right pocket that I'm supposed to do.
Oh, so what do you do? Do you go, do you find a middle pocket?
I try to, and this is where and if you've experienced this, please let us know. You end up feeling overwhelmed and burnout because you're trying to please both sides.
You're trying to do both. You're trying to do it all. You can't do it all.
You can't. But then it's like a guilt trip that happens, right? If you go to left pocket, you're like, okay, then I'm going to be neglecting and or foregoing the right side. And if you do the right side, you feel like you're doing the same thing to the left side. So sometimes you have to hurt or grow through that growing pain of hurt to find that peace.
I was just going to say, this sounds like a situation where we have to not be the people pleaser in us, which is
hard.
But it's also who we are too, right? Especially for us. Like, I want to make everyone happy before I make myself happy sometimes.
Right.
So it's one of those scenarios where you're just going to have to say F it, and everyone can't be happy in that scenario because I'm suffering and I'm suffering in so many ways, that mental load, that physical load.
Right.
I experience this situation
it's
every holiday.
The neck for me.
Oh, because it's the anxiety that I have every holiday season. I have this. I need to go visit my mother, my father, my in-laws. Plus, what if my friends want to hang out, because we do Friendsgiving, and I've been known to host a fantastic Friendsgiving.
So you have to like spread yourself to meet everyone's needs.
But I also want to sleep because by the time November and December hits, we're in the middle of holiday season, which means for the studio, it's winter show season. So I'm spazzing because I'm trying to figure out costumes and music and choreo and baby dances and the venue and tickets. As I'm saying this, I'm just getting agita.
This year I got to see the behind the scenes of it.
You don't like it.
And I felt it. That's why if you notice, I just held space.
I needed the space. I appreciate you.
I just held space. Like that time when you were printing the tickets, I wasn't doing anything
that
was of importance. I just held space because I saw it. I felt it. And then meanwhile, the person I share her with was running around and doing her own thing too. So I was like, let me just sit here and not be the person that adds an additional I need from you.
Did I tell you what happened as I was doing tickets? Sidebar, guys. Did I tell you?
Oh.
So as I was doing tickets at the holiday show, they were starting to get closer and closer to me because there wasn't an organized line, which is on us, which is we're going to work it out. But they started getting closer and closer. I had to yell and say, hey, I'm tiny. Please stop pushing. I'm going to get to you. They were trying to run me over, Denise. My partner in crime, not my other partner in crime, was staring at me, and she looked at me. She's like, you okay? I said, She's okay. Oh my gosh, they were trying to kill me. Probably not. I'm over exaggerating, but that's just how I felt in the moment, that I was just getting surrounded by a mob.
Yeah, but the fact that the person and you need a person to check in on you, like, hey, are you okay?
She straight looked at me like this. Okay. Because she would have came over on my side and been like, hey, with the bass.
Yeah, she has a little bit of a deeper voice. Yeah.
And I don't have it. And I know that I don't have it. My voice gets squeaky. And I'm just like, guys, stop.
You got to bring that cheerleading voice out. Because I got it. I'm not going to do it now because it's very booming. But you got to have a cheerleading voice. Or you can project. Just project. This is your project. This is your microphone.
This is my microphone.
Megaphone.
Megaphone.
Project.
Okay, I'm gonna work on it. We're gonna work on it together.
And you want to come from your diaphragm when you do it,
Okay.
not from your throat, because it sounds scratchy. But from your diaphragm, suck in that air, let it out. You're welcome for that lesson, everybody.
Everyone needs this lesson. We're gonna practice this off camera. I'm gonna let you know how it works out because I needed it in that moment because I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
Okay, sidebar done.
I know y'all love the sidebars. Y'all love it. But yes, in terms of being able to hold space for somebody,
it was needed.
With that,
I'm glad you remember. I never remember. I needed it because it was a lot. Because then I was still thinking about meaning all of those things on the personal side of how am I going to get to everyone's location in a timely fashion to do all the holiday things.
Right.
And Thanksgiving is the worst because everyone expects you there on Thanksgiving. I can't. When I tell you that I've done it where I've done 3 Thanksgivings in a day.
Have you been the oddity to propose, let's just make this a little more centralized because it's a lot for me?
So my mother and father don't get along.
Excuse me. Choose a space. And I'm just thinking out loud.
Okay.
And in-laws are fine with either side?
Yes.
In-laws come.
In-laws can't come.
Okay.
Traveling's hard for them.
Okay. We can talk about this offline.
You see, so my anxiety during the holiday season is just going.
Yeah.
So having a friend that's there just to talk. She can just be there.
I didn't even talk.
She was just there.
I was just physically there.
And calm. That's what it is. I need someone there so I can feed off that calm energy because my energy is da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I need someone energy who is da-da.
But that's not me either.
But in that moment it was.
Yeah.
In that moment, you were fine. It was me that was just ricocheting and bouncing off the walls.
Yeah.
I need someone to just be able to so that I can feel that calmness.
Yeah. Because that was the one time typically there's other moms that sit in that space. That was the one time I didn't wait for them. I just took the space. And I don't typically do that.
No, you normally like, hey, is it okay if I sit over there?
Right. And I saw what was happening. I said, let me just go sit over here.
Because you felt it.
I felt it.
My whole brain.
Yeah. And it's funny because with my other partner, same thing. Her love language is touch. So every now and then, when I can see she's a little, I just look back and I make sure she makes eye contact with me. And I walk over to her and I literally just lean. That's all she wants. It's just a quick lean.
She just wants that.
And she's like, oh, you don't know what that does to my soul. But
it does a lot. Like it just means something. That's that you're matching her energy where she is and where she's at, right?
Yeah.
And that's what she needs.
And I will say, I didn't realize, and I think your love language changes as you go through things.
I think it also changes with everybody.
Right. Because even with Andre, I noticed did I just say his full government? I sure did.
Should we bleep it out?
So with my husband, I hate saying husband because he has a name, but anyway, that's just a pet peeve.
I think I've said my husband's government.
Yes. But it's a pet peeve of mine.
Oh.
Because it's like, my husband, he has a name.
He does, absolutely.
I have a name. Do not my wife. My name is Denise.
Hey, Denise.
Okay. Whether you know me or not.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Anyway, so, Dre, do that. Through our progress of working through things,
life,
I recognize that for him, his love language is acts of service.
Okay.
And mine is quality time. But quality time and physical touch, they fight.
They're not the same.
They're not the same, but they fight.
Yes, absolutely.
So as of late, I have been needing more touch than I have quality time. And I don't know how, but for somehow he tapped into that.
Did he?
And that was not something that he would have known normally or would have tried normally. But now when I get home and I'm
good job.
Like there's the caress of the hair.
Good job. This makes me so happy.
Right? Or
he picked it up.
He picked it up. Or like as of late, I had a really, really bad back problem. And I'm not going off topic because this is still part of the reason for a relationship. And he rubbed my back. Like he was like, where's this hurt? And he did like some physical therapy trick with me, but it helped release the tension in my back. I'm like, 2-3 years ago, that would have never happened.
But wait, I want you to know he Googled it. I don't know how I know. He Googled it, okay? Because he did some.
No, he's also Mr. Everyone wants to train with him.
What does that mean?
People seek him out,
okay,
and say, "Hey, I'm getting ready to go into armed forces. I'm ready to go do boot camp for police department. Can you help me train to build my stamina so I can pass the physical test?" People have reached out to him for that. So he is that person. That's why I cannot work out with him, because he's very intense.
Are you making this a side hustle for himself? Are you making this a side hustle for him?
Don't get me started. There's a couple of side hustles I've already mentioned, but that's not where his headspace. I can't force him into it.
Does he listen? You can make this a side hustle and get some money in your pocket. Do it. Okay. Anyway.
And he helped me stretch.
I love it. You did bed yoga?
I did do bed yoga.
Oh my goodness, yay. You would know what we're talking about if you had listened to the previous episode. I hope you did.
Badoosh.
Yes,
bed yoga. So I did meditation this morning, but I did bed yoga twice last week. And I didn't wake up as like, oh my God, my back. I didn't wake up as much that way.
So I should send you some more?
Yes.
Okay, I'll send you some more. Okay. Swinging it on back. You know what I liked about proximity for you?
Okay.
Proximity, from the pillar that you shared with us.
Okay.
Is I've been sitting here pondering about my relationships, friendships specifically. My best friend does not live in Jersey. My boo thing lives all the way in New York. Okay. And that's not far, right? It's a train, a bus right away, but that's still an hour and change away.
Right.
Let me tell you how I miss my boo thing. I miss her so much. And it's one of those where, like, we talk often, right? It's not a lack of communication for us.
So the timing is not an issue.
No. Timing, and it's definitely not energy, right?
Right.
Because no matter where we are, we match our energies the same way.
And that's what she says. As you become an adult, you're missing one of the three things. So she has 2 out of the 3.
Oh, I'm missing the proximity. And her life is so busy, and
so is yours.
My life is so busy, but my life is busier. We are busy on the opposite schedules, right? She's busy to 9 to 5, and I'm busy 5 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, I have Saturdays because I got little babies and
other people's little babies.
Yeah, I don't got no babies. Fix your face. I got other babies I be watching. Put it down. No, put it down. Okay,
that's enough.
The stress.
That was the extent of my. I saw that look. That was the extent of my joke. Go ahead.
So, like, I would love to do a brunch with her on Saturday. Brunch on Saturdays is the best because then you have Sunday to recover. The Sunday scaries, don't laugh at me. The Sunday scaries you have to do on your own. But Saturday we can kiki. But I'm here on Saturdays.
Can you do evenings?
An hour into the city. And then it's not even, and I definitely not driving anymore because of congestion, prices or whatever.
It's not on the weekends, but I get it.
Mm-hmm. It's not on the weekends? Well, I'm still not driving in the city on the weekend. So then New Jersey Transit runs every hour. So it's finding the time, the proximity, so that we can be together, which we do because I dearly miss her. Mm-hmm. But she's someone who I just picked up in 2018 on my birthday. That's when I met her. Oh, 2018 wow. On my birthday. She and I had an interview together.
Okay.
And she hired me because we matched energy.
I know that's right.
So I have from 2018
proximity, timing, energy.
It was all perfect. I needed a job. We matched energy, and it was right. We were right there in the same room. It was perfect. And I definitely didn't want to interview on my birthday, but something in me said, just go. Because I had an interview in the city. I was working somewhere and I didn't want to go. And I was like, oh, but I went. And on the way, this is how I knew it was perfect. On the way, as I was going into the city, I sat on my train. I was reading a book. My 2 cousins popped out of nowhere.
On the train?
On the train.
Oh, wow.
And they were visiting from Canada. So, and I didn't know they were visiting either. I think they were, had just came in. It was very serendipitous. And they walked past me and they were like, Nikki? And I was like, who's saying my name like that? That's an old person. Because don't no one call me Nikki no more. And I look up and I was like, oh, hey, cuz. What you doing? We going into the city. Oh. Well, let's ride together.
Aww. And
they called me good energy throughout the whole trip. I felt confident going into my interview.
Did you get hired?
I did. I got hired.
Or there you have it.
I got hired. And then it was very lovely. Like all of that was very perfect. And now we've been riding together since 2018.
And sometimes that's what it is, right? And even though people are here for a reason this season, never look at the expiration date. Enjoy it for what it is. Be blissful in what it is.
Absolutely.
Although there's some people, you just got to look at the expiration date and you know they need an expiration date. But there's a piece of you that holds on to the potential of what could be.
Yes.
And sometimes, and I'm guilty of it too. I hold on to people, things, energy longer than I need to because there's a part of you that's like, but I know they're good. But I know they're this. But I know they're that.
All of that. I know. And when we say season, I want to make sure we're not thinking like spring, winter, fall.
No. Just whatever the time frame is that you're supposed to be in that person's life for.
Exactly. Whatever that may be for them and for you.
Right.
Do you remember a time? I'm sure you do. Remember a time where you held on to something or someone too long and then it was detrimental?
Absolutely.
Oh, you do.
Absolutely.
How was that heartbreak?
It was like a cold turkey kind of thing. So I was young, whatever.
Okay. 2 years ago.
Right. I was dating this guy, and I guess my mindset was already in the space where I'm looking for my life partner. But they were not there, right? And they were like, oh, well, we could maintain friendship with benefits. And, when you're young.
Yeah, sure.
You're like, yeah, sure. Knowing or hoping on to they'll change their mind because you're staying around.
Okay.
This person.
Okay.
And I had, there was a befriending between their family, and their family used to host parties.
Oh, so you guys were close,
right? Okay. I'd sleep over their sister's house. I knew their mom.
You were there.
I was there.
Okay.
Cousins, whatever. And this is okay. I don't care if I age myself. Okay. This was the age of MySpace. If you don't know what that is, can't help you.
MySpace.
Okay. And everyone had a MySpace. We were
literally your top 5.
Right, literally coding before we knew what coding was.
Yeah, facts.
And clicked onto their page, and I'm like, why are you following this chick? Who's this chick? Follow her page. She's talking about my boo, my boo, my boo.
Oh, my boo.
Yeah. There is a Chris Brown song I refuse to listen to still to this day because of the situation. Because you could set up your MySpace page and you had the music for your theme, right? Yes. And that was his music and her music for each other.
They matched?
Yeah. 1-2 step. You will never hear me listen to that Chris Brown song. Nope. Not that 1-2 steps. Take my hand and I'll show you how to 1-2 step.
Oh, excuse me, miss. I'm sorry for across the room.
Yeah. Why are you singing it though?
Sorry. I want to make sure it's the right song.
So here was the kicker of how I did it cold turkey, to not elongate the story, but so you have a perspective of how I handled the situation. The family used to hold fetes. Right. So they did a New Year. I was going to school, and they did a New Year's fete at the school that I was working. And come to find out,
wait, they did a fete at the school?
Yes, into New Year's, because she rented the space from the school.
At the school?
Yeah. It was into New Year's.
You make it seem like this is normal. Ain't nobody doing no fetes at no school.
It was like a
in the gym.
No, this is college years.
Oh, you did a fete at a university?
Yes.
Oh,
she rented the space.
Okay.
To host a New Year's Eve party.
Okay.
AKA fete.
Yes.
Because they were Guyanese.
Yeah, no, yeah. Okay. Listen, I picked it up. I just thought she meant a high school. And that's where I was like, wait, what? You was at a high school doing a fete?
Mm-mm.
You was at a university.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the sister was a bartender. The other sibling was the bouncer. He was a bouncer. They had myself and his cousin, who so happened I didn't know was their cousin until the day I sat with her. I knew her.
But you didn't know her.
I didn't know her. And we were the one taking the money and the tickets.
He had a whole family working.
Right.
Bless you.
Plus us. Plus me, right. The mom and the sister loved me. And it was in that moment I realized I dipped out on them. Let me tell you how I dipped out on them. Because New Year's happened. New Year's, the ball dropped. I, looking to go say.
You left the fete?
Looking to say Happy New Year. Said Happy New Year to everybody. Walked past me on the phone. Happy New Year, babe. I looked up. I looked at the cousin. I said, excuse me one minute. Moment. Grab my coat, grab my keys, never looked back. He had his clothes, donated them. Called me, I need my clothes. Oh,
they gone.
And mind you, called me on the day I was leaving to go to spring break my senior year in college. And
that's like in March. That's 3 months later.
Just 3 months later. Oh, I was looking for my clothes. I said, I can't help you. I'm hopping on a plane right now. Where are my clothes? They're donated to Goodwill.
Who gives a fuck? It's 3 months later. Cause
donated to Goodwill. Can't help you. But that's how I handled that.
Stop. He really had the audacity first to be in front of your face strong and say Happy New Year to another person.
Yeah.
And then call you for clothes?
But I'm okay with that because when I look back, all the signs were there. Right? Because how are you going to, I think it was turning 21, didn't know how to manage a checkbook. Did not know how to manage money.
Well, I mean, we still got some 21-year-olds who don't know how to manage. We got some 30-something year olds.
Maybe, right, that's true. And I was like, what are you doing? You can't pay for that without having money in the account.
Wait, he was writing checks? And he didn't got no money?
Right.
Did he think a check was credit?
I don't know. I have no idea.
That's why we need to teach this stuff in school, y'all.
Yes. So there were a lot of red signs there. Red signs, red flags.
I got you.
Yeah. So looking back, I'm like, you know what? And I had to go through, and then I didn't do a Sierra prayer, but I did do a prayer.
Okay.
And I realigned myself spiritually.
Okay.
And I was like, listen, I'm not looking for nobody. I don't care to look for anybody. This is my time to regroup, to recenter for me.
Mm-hmm. If
someone comes along, they just come along.
Okay.
And that person came along and they're still here.
Wait, he was the next? Oh my goodness. That was very serendipitous.
Very weird.
Like, timing.
Yeah. Timing, energy, and proximity.
It all happened. You had to get rid of that person, the timing. You had to get rid of that energy. And this new person came in at the right time, with the right energy, in the right space and proximity.
Yeah. That was 18 years ago. Yes, I aged myself. So what?
You guys have been together for 18 years?
Yeah, don't remind me. He reminds me. I'm like, why do you remember that? I'm joking.
Why do you remember Maybe.
That? But you know what? It's I guess it means something because men don't usually remember things like that.
I just need to do some quick math. Hold on.
Yes, we were babies.
Babies. Oh my God. Wait. So you met him 18 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I met Ibrahim 15 years ago.
You see?
Oh, that makes me so happy. He didn't stick around at first at 15 years ago, though.
Oh, okay.
He didn't have.
I know you said you didn't like him at first.
I didn't.
I didn't like Andre at first either. Thought he was weird. But we talk about there's two versions to that story. That's another day. You guys want to see them?
So yes, let us know.
We're trying to coax them. So we can do a seasoned married versus newly married. Let's coax them.
Just keep tagging about it and commenting about it so they can see it. So
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Yo, Siri be so
not
obnoxious.
Not talking to her. She's nosy.
You are nosy.
Okay.
Did I tell you that Ibrahim, when we first started, he didn't follow us, right?
Yes.
Then he started following us. When I tell you he went on a whole rampage, share. I was like, what are you doing? I love it, but can you do this every week now?
Yeah.
No, it's a lot, babe. No. I'm going to do my best, but it's a lot.
I had to ask mine last night. What did you mean by that comment? I didn't understand it. It was confusing. I don't know. My hand slipped. I love the support. Just, you know what it.
Hand slipped for me.
It's the support. They're trying to support us. We can't be mad.
No, we can't. I mean, no, we can't.
A reason and a season.
Oh God. Oh, we love them.
Have you experienced how have you handled someone who no longer served you? That's another way of saying it too. I like saying that. They know. Sorry. Okay. Let me rewind. So I'm saying it because I had the thought in my head, but I didn't speak it out loud. So every month, within the first 5 days, I try to do my monthly affirmations. That has been a consistency I try to do. I didn't talk about that in our last episode. Do your
monthly affirmations change?
They can.
Okay.
But there's some consistent ones. Okay. And one of them is remove anyone or anything that no longer serves me.
I like that one.
Right? That was part of our resolution and goals thing. So I do affirmations as well every month. So that's my goal, to make sure I do it. I fell off, but I'm back on it.
Do you say it every day?
No.
Oh, you only say it at the top of your month?
The top of the month. I write it down.
Oh.
Almost like a journaling.
Okay.
Yes.
I understand.
So that's why I said, is there anyone or anything that you've experienced that no longer served you? How did you handle that?
Absolutely. It's definitely a friendship side, because I feel like relationship wise, there was a reason for them.
You got what you got out of it and kept it moving.
And I kept it pushing until Ibrahim showed up, and then made me a wife. I love him, but he made me a wife. Anyway, so I never thought I was going to be here, and then I'm here, and 10 years later, here we are.
Well,
12 years later, 10 years later.
Snatch you out.
Yeah, he did quickly. So I remember I had a friend who I've known for a while, right? We were kikiing, hee hee, ha ha, boop, boop, boop. I think I had him we were friends from like 8th grade through college-ish.
Okay.
And I remember one day I kind of just sat down and I was like, why are we still friends? Because
the whole evaluation.
It was. Because we were sitting and we were having a conversation, and something was said and it just didn't match with my values.
She says that too.
Yeah.
Energy, values change.
And maybe mine changed, right? Like I definitely was a different person in 8th grade, right? 8th grade, high school, different person than I was after college.
Right. Because you were developing who you are going to be in the future, who you want to be.
Exactly. And I got to the point where I became this person. And something was just said, and I was just like, why you say that? And they just looked at me and I was like, this is what we always talk about. I was like, oh, I don't want to talk about this no more.
Okay.
And so like we left that evening, said goodbye, we texted still, had a quick conversation. And they said, let's hang out, let's go get a drink. I don't want to. And I just remember I was like, no, I'm good. I think that's the last conversation we had.
Which is funny that you're saying that, because you're giving an example of setting boundaries. Setting boundaries for your mental health. People are like, oh, you're setting, you're acting different. You're acting funny. Why are you being so distant? Why are you acting, like this? What happened to you? And it's like, nothing happened to me. I'm setting boundaries.
Right. Like I'm protecting my safe space.
Right.
I'm sorry you don't respect that, or you can't understand that. But this is what I need to do, respect my space, because ultimately at the end of the day, you're not going to respect it.
Right.
I need to respect it for myself. And if I don't respect it for myself, you can't respect it for me.
And then one or two things are going to happen. Either they're going to respect it and they're going to
move forward
with you in the way where they respect your boundaries, or they're too immature to handle the boundary setting, and they're going to drop off.
Yeah.
And that means, guess what? Their season has ended.
Yes. And that's exactly what happened. As soon as I said, nah, I'm good, it was like, what you mean?
Or you think you're too good.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I'm too good. I'm setting those boundaries.
I don't want to go about and talk about the nonsense that we were talking about. Like, it just, I'm not in that place anymore. And it was just a whole, well, why? Well, what happened? Why you changed? It was that whole conversation. And my texts were very much, I didn't. I'm still the same person. I'm me. You get it or you don't.
Yeah. Or similarly, you could be someone like myself who never set boundaries with people. You go through your healing process, you go through your therapy, and you realize, why do I continue to allow people to use me, hurt me, take advantage of me in a capacity that I can't stand, but I'm not using my throat chakra. So when your throat chakra is open and you set those boundaries, you acting different. Why are you changing? Or such and such has changed you to act different. And it's like, no.
This is me.
When I'm setting these boundaries, I'm setting these boundaries with everybody. Such and such included, such and such not included.
Like,
whoever
it's not just
and whatever.
you.
What no longer serves me, what no longer
that part
I feel comfortable with, I am setting the set boundaries. Either you're gonna get over it and you're gonna fall in line,
get it together,
or you're going to stay angry because you don't want to change.
Right.
Because a lot of the times people setting boundaries is because you can't make that person change, but you can change how you interact with them.
Absolutely.
And there's several people in my life that I have to reevaluate how I'm going to interact with them. Because for some of them, you can't get rid of them out of your life because they're there. And then for others, they're either going to fall off or they're going to fall in line.
And it's okay if you fall off. Listen, when I tell you that when some people fall off, as I go through my life, I realize that I'm okay with it.
Have you also noticed that
my circle is smaller? Absolutely.
That, and then the people who fall off open space for new avenues and new opportunities and doors open. And it was almost like they were a blockage. Mm-hmm. And it's like once you remove them, that veil of like, holy this is what's happening that I didn't know was so accessible to me or available to me. And then you see the trajectory is a little bit different.
Yes, absolutely. It's because they're holding you back. Yeah. And you don't realize that they're holding you back until you let them go.
Yeah.
Because they want you to be in that same space that they're in, but you've outgrown it.
Yeah. And denial is a real thing.
It's a thing. It is. Denial, one, is a real thing, but also, two, it's that saying, misery loves company. So they may not be miserable, or they may not even know that they're miserable, or they're in a negative, toxic, not doing well for them space. And they may not know that, but they want to keep the people around them because it feels safe to them. Where for you can't be in that space because you're now outgrowing it, because you're understanding that what they're in and what they're doing is no longer helping you. You're no longer there.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
It is a thing. So, proximity, timing, and energy. Let us know how you handle it, where you are in some of your relationships with other people. I know that, again, I have my girlfriends where from high school, pick up like it's nothing. From college, pick up like it's nothing. Those. We don't speak every day. And we are okay. No one's mad at each other for not speaking every day.
They understand
because they have their lives. They have their things going on too. But baby, when we talk, it is key all night.
Absolutely.
And I support them in other capacities. Their kids got something going on. How you need me to show up and support? Vice versa, my kids got something going on. How do you need me to show up and support? And that right there, those are friendships that lasted. There was something I saw, and it said, friendships that don't speak every day, but all you need is a quick tap in, or friendships that last the test of time.
Yes, absolutely. That's what it is. Because your friendships don't need to talk every day. It's how you show up in other ways for your friendships that makes the difference. It's those actions of your friendship. It's not the fact that I need to be sitting next to you every day, talking to you every day, sending you a text every day. Right. It could be once a month. You good, boo?
Yep.
Just checking.
And failure is okay. Failure is a part of the process. And by failure, I mean, okay, maybe you think this didn't go out right, go on the right way, or it didn't evolve the right way. Sometimes that is the trenches that you need to go through to be able to reevaluate and say, okay, where did I mess up and how can I clean up?
And also think about your failures as the path that you need to be on to open those doors for you, to open the window, to release the light into your life for whatever is coming next. Because sometimes those failures is just a stepping stone for what's coming forward in the next chapter of your life. You just don't know it. That's it.
Yep.
Oh,
I like this one.
This was a good one. We always have a nice topic.
Yeah, we do.
Nice topics. My brain.
We've got a lot. So this one, sometimes it's okay.
It is.
Recognize it, guys. So
appreciate the ones that you have. Understand that it's okay if the reason for the season is coming up and you need to acknowledge that.
Yep.
Self-reflect on yourself.
Love the ones that left and what happened and what you learned from it. Take the lessons, the nuggets.
Shoot it forward. That's it.
And move forward. All right, guys.
See you next time.
Hey, Wispies. Thank you for joining us for another hard-hitting girl talk. If you have a topic or question for us, send us a whisper at info@wineandwhispersclub.com. That's whispers with an S. See you next time, Wispies.